Chapter 1. Apply for a job. An August afternoon can be described as a fashionable saying, go out for 5 minutes and sweat for 2 hours. And Kong Chiao, who had been out for an hour, was now like someone fished out of the water. He took off the hat he bought from Dong Demon, which was said to be the same style of a certain star, and fanned himself. He fanned twice and put it back on again. This was so shocking that he couldn't let anyone live. Even the air from the fan is hot/taut/. After walking around the place that was said to be her destination, she still couldn't find the entrance. She gave up and took out her cell phone to dial a number. After 2 beeps, she was picked up. Yabiseo, I am Jean Union. Uni, I'm here and I can't find the door you mentioned. Ah, it's Kong Chiao, right? Just wait. Ernie will pick you up right now. Where are you? Are there any special buildings nearby? Yes, there are many cars, including Land Rover, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Ferrari. There are others I don't know, so forgive her for not being interested in cars as a carless person. Wait a minute. Find a cool place to stay. I'll go find you right now. Okay, after hanging up the phone, Kong Chiao chose a spot with a very domineering Land Rover behind the sun and squatted there, calmly waiting for Ernie to pick her up. But Jean Union, who hung up the phone, didn't walk away so easily. The rough-looking middle-aged man slapped the table heavily, and the people who were drinking water and taking a break were startled by a bang sound. I have never seen anyone ask for maternity leave who is not pregnant. This matter is not negotiable. Do you hear me? You see, I have time to get pregnant. I spend half of the year in Japan and the remaining half of the year in China, running around day and night. If I don't go back to make a baby, my husband will divorce me. Are you really responsible for the divorce? Ah, not to be outdone. The curly-haired woman slapped the table and kicked the bench, and she didn't have to discuss it. It's scary when a woman goes crazy. Li Qingshu shrank his neck subconsciously, and he found the scapegoat as soon as he rolled his eyes. Hey, what do you think, Yunhao? This is your assistant. As he said this, he winked at him. You know how to do it. But who is Zheng Yunhao? He was a famous cousin. Hearing that his assistant was about to get divorced due to work, he couldn't help but frown and think about it. After a while, he spoke. Let's find a short-term assistant first. But Nuna, you have to help her get started with the job. After receiving support, Kim Eun-yan excitedly clenched her fists to encourage herself and then raised her eyebrows at Li Qingshu in a provocative manner. Seeing that he was about to burst into tears, he quickly spoke. The person I'm looking for is downstairs right now. She's a girl I met in the hospital. She's a top student at the medical university. She's a very nice person. She's an exchange student between Yonsei University and a school in China. A top student from the medical university. This is incredible. Doctors have a very high status in South Korea. Even if they are just students, in the eyes of ordinary people, they are still doctors of the future, and their future money is limitless. Hearing this, everyone felt that it was a bit outrageous to have a top student from the medical university as an assistant. Shun Chongmin, a man with a vicious tongue, was the first to speak. Why would such a person have to accept the grievance of being an assistant? I'm poor. I'm working as a trainee behind a doctor in a hospital, and I don't get paid, but I have to pay for it. I want to work to earn some living expenses and tuition. That's it. That makes sense. The observers were right to think so. Poor people from poor areas in China have no money to send their children to college. Even if they do, they probably don't have money to pay for living expenses. They can only pay for their own education. At this time, the Korean people's sense of superiority emerged spontaneously, and they realized that although this assistant did not have much money, it was already a lot to them. Fortunately, Kong Chiao didn't know. If she found out, she would definitely let out a loud bah. Speaking of Korea as a country and nation, Kong Chiao often wonders why everyone is so confident even though they want nothing, and firmly believe that the Republic of Korea will become #1 in the world. Is there anything else you want to ask? After that, I want to pick them up. Of course. Is it beautiful? As soon as these words came out, Everyone couldn't help but look at Shin Chongmin. Who is he? Shin Chongmin was puzzled by their looks and stared back confidently. What are you looking at? I'm just asking for you. That's all I care about. These men, Jean Enyon rolled her eyes in disgust and ignored him, turned around and walked out the door. If he didn't leave, the little girl would get tired of waiting. But is this really the case? Are you tired of waiting as promised? Not only did she not see anyone when she arrived, but she also couldn't find anyone after running around. Jean Eunyen had no choice but to call back because she might be kicked out by the security guard as a fan who had sneaked in. When Kong Chiao heard the phone ringing, he smiled apologetically at Chui Saiwen. Sorry, I'll answer the phone. The elegant man Chui Saiwen also smiled back and then motioned for her to answer the phone quickly. He took out his phone and swiped it. Uni, are you here? Here we are. Are you in the parking lot? Why can't I see you? I just met my friend, and he was enjoying the air conditioning in his car. I'm going to get out of the car now. Okay. 88. After hanging up the phone, Kong Chiao put on his hat, looked in the mirror and felt great, then waved goodbye to Chui Saiwen. Kong sang Mira. I'll treat you to dinner next time. Okay. Chui Siyuan hesitated to speak when he saw the hat, but he still said it. If you want to apply successfully, don't wear this hat. He is just a hat. Why bother with the hat? Kong Chiao touched his hat, looked in the mirror, and felt that it looked good on him. He asked confusedly, for Senmo? This hat is the same style as that of the YG family artist. The person you are applying for is the S&M family. Okay then. Kong Chiao, who was extremely speechless, had no choice but to stuff his hat into his bag, then opened the door and got out of the car. After jumping out of the car, he said nonsensically, "Drive carefully. I don't think you should travel today." Senmo said something that was obviously very strange, but he couldn't help but believe it. Chui Saiwen quickly shook his head to empty his head. He must have eaten too much just now, and the blood supply to the brain was insufficient. Not far away, Jean Eunyen put her phone back in her pocket and saw her getting out of Chui Saiwen's car. Her mind was full of questions, and of course more gossip. These two people were all in a routine. They must be trying to trick the little girl into trying to hook up. What a scumbag. Chui Saiwen, who was inexplicably screwed up, sneezed loudly as soon as he started the car. Who was thinking about him? Is it my mom or sister? As soon as Kong Chiao approached, Kim Eunyan leaned over and persuaded her earnestly. There are more women around Chui Saiwen than Sesame. Chapter 2. A-Team Touches. As soon as he heard this, Kong Chiao understood that he had been misunderstood and laughed loudly. Uni, we have known each other before. When he saw me squatting there waiting for someone, he asked me to go to the car to cool down. And I have met his girlfriend. She is a beautiful woman. I also have a boyfriend, don't worry. If that's the case, then she's relieved. To be honest, she's a little worried that it's the fangirls from China who come to Korea to deliberately get close to idols and fantasize about unrealistic things. But where did you meet? He accompanies his mother to see the doctor, and I'm in charge of massage and acupuncture. Hey, I forgot that you are a Chinese doctor. Do you know the secret recipe for giving birth to a son? My husband and mother-in-law both like sons. She couldn't accept what she said. How could there be a secret recipe for this thing? It's true that she is studying medicine. She is a doctor, but she is not a miracle doctor, let alone guanyin. After saying that, they arrived at the place. Jean Enyon opened the door and walked in front. Kong Chiao followed behind. Except for the other eldest sister, the room was full of men. So no wonder it smells like sweat. Seeing someone following Jean Enyon, everyone knew that this was the poor talent she was looking for, and they couldn't help but take a look. Kong Chiao's facial features do not belong to the ranks of peerless beauties, but are rather delicate. However, it is such beauty that every time she walks on the street, someone will drag her to the plastic surgery hospital for brainwashing. Maybe in the eyes of Koreans, she must look like Kim Tae-hee, Kim Hee-sun, and Lin Yuna. But who are these people like Jung Yoon-hao? Every day in the circle, They see the same model's face, and now Kong Chiao really makes their eyes shine. I saw that the girl had fair skin and short ear-length hair that made people want to rub it with their hands. The shiny black hair tips were neatly pressed against the skin of the ears. She stood there quietly with the corners of her mouth pursed, looking particularly peaceful and quiet. The eyes are large, the dark eyes are bright and clear, and the aura of agility overflowing from the eyes makes people inexplicably comfortable. This appearance makes people feel comfortable, and it is completely impossible to dislike it. What else to say? It's her. When Kim Eun-yeon was chatting with Lee Sung-wook, Shun Chong-min whispered to Jung Yoon-hao, "That's okay. She looks pretty, but is careful when looking at her. It's cost-effective." Park Sharon, Shun Chong-min's assistant, gave him a disgusted look and said nothing. "She is not your assistant, even though she is pretty." "Nonsense, you still have to say it. But Jung Yoon-hao still has to pretend." She whispered back to him, "What else do you know besides being beautiful?" Shun Chong-min, "I also know. You also like beautiful ones, _" However, beauty has a purpose. What he is looking for is an assistant, not a wife. When he goes out, he has to follow the assistant to carry his bag and luggage. Puff. Just when he couldn't stop complaining about his happiness, he heard the beautiful reserve assistant laugh out loud. It sounded like she had been holding back for a long time and couldn't help it. When the people in this room were sizing up Kong Chiao was also sizing them up, and something went wrong. I really couldn't bear it now. In the 21st century, when Brother Chu is going to kindergarten, there is a Brother Chu who is almost 30 years old in this room, although it is because of a hidden disease, _. But it matches the first impression of him. He is abstinent. This laughter drew everyone's attention to her, and their eyes were all confused. What were you laughing at? Girl, say anything, and everyone will have fun together. Sorry, my smile is low. Okay, it seems that this girl is a little out of line, but I feel like she will be very happy in the future. The newcomer is here, so you can tease her as much as you want. I came in through the back door, and there was no plan to start work officially next week. The assistant learning stage started at that time. I happened to have a pictorial shooting schedule in the afternoon, so I took on my post immediately. Kong Chiao, come here and help him button up, and then remember to tidy up the collar, cuffs, and hem. Kim Eun-yeon watched Jung Yoon-hao put on the shirt and waved for Kong Chiao to take over, and then stood aside to guide him. Fortunately, this pictorial had enough time to waste time. Buttoning is so big. Kong Chiao has only done it for Grandpa and Peng Peng next door. Grandpa will not talk about it. Peng Peng is just a 1- or 3-year-old boy with a bare head and blue skin. This is the first time for such a young and handsome boy. If it weren't for, it would actually be worth showing off to the class group. However, there are apples, mangoes, and cherry tomatoes in this world, but there is no if. So when I think about it, it's really not worth getting excited about, and there's no sense of accomplishment at all. Start buttoning from the bottom button, so it's less likely to button it wrong. If you happen to be at a concert, you don't have to rip your clothes off if you button it wrong. Okay. Kong Chiao nodded softly, blowing his hot breath onto the clean and smooth chest in front of him. Jung Yoon-hao immediately felt a surge of electricity spreading from his chest, and his body couldn't help but feel so comfortable that he almost screamed out. This reaction was quite big. It was the first time Jean Enyon saw it after being her assistant for so many years. She couldn't help but worry. What's wrong? Are you feeling uncomfortable somewhere? Kong Chiao also stopped and retracted his outstretched hand. No, I suddenly felt like shaking. Otherwise, what should I say? Did he feel itchy because the little girl breathed hot breath? After this is revealed, will he or she still be a human being? Is it because he has an urgent need to urinate? Why don't you go to the bathroom? After releasing her ultimate move, Kim Eun-yeon turned to Kong Chiao and told him, from now on, whenever he has free time, he must remind him to go to the bathroom. Otherwise, he will not remember to hold it in, and he is really afraid that his bladder will explode one day. It is a small thing to explode, but it will make headlines. How embarrassing. Okay, got it. After agreeing, Kong Chiao continued what she had just done. reaching for the hem of her clothes below the waist of her pants. Don't think about dirtying it. She was looking for the bottom button. Give way, give way. As soon as Kong Chiao found the button, she was suddenly pushed on her back. If she hadn't been stable, she would have fallen down. She subconsciously frowned and glanced back. When she looked back, she found that the handsome guy was staring at something with his head bent. Out of curiosity, Kong Chiao also followed his line of sight. I wipe it. My hands are going to rot. Oh my gosh. What did her hand touch / tot / I saw a slender, soft hand covering the small hill below the waistband of her trousers, and the owner of that hand was none other than Kong Chiao herself. Onaji, by she thinks maybe she'll be fired today. Will the handsome guy think she is sexually harassing her? Is she going to be the first assistant in history to be fired for sexually harassing her boss? Chapter 3. First Love. After slandering, Kong Chiao quickly retracted his hand and looked over at Ji Nunyan. He couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief when he found that she was talking to Cody and didn't pay attention. Then he looked up at Jung Yunhao and apologized guiltily. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Someone bumped into me just now. I know. Facing such a pair of pure and innocent eyes, what else could he do except pretend to be generous, Jung Yunhao? Would the girl touch him on purpose? Definitely not. After all, he was a man, and it was nothing if he was touched. He just treated it as if his chest was touched by the fans. Yes, think so. Fart. His innocent little brother has lived for more than 20 years, and no one has touched it except him and his mother. By the way, the doctor who circumcised him back then has touched it, and absolutely no one else has touched it. Now you have been touched. The most shameful thing is that you have been touched. Why are you still so worthless? No response. If he responds, he will be more comforted / tot. / the baby feels bitter, but he doesn't say anything. In order to prevent another accident, Kong Chiao did not dare to delay any longer, quickly buttoned up and planned to move aside. But it was obvious that she was thinking too beautifully. The collar and cuffs were not adjusted, and the hem of the shirt was not tucked into the pants. How could this be the end of the world? It's better to be taller. If I were to adjust his collar, I would have to trouble him to squat down every time. I knew who said this. Kong Chiao, how tall are you? My net height was 169 during the physical examination for the college entrance examination. Over the years, my relatives have said that I've grown taller again, but I don't know the details. Speaking of her previous internship in the hospital, she saw people measuring my height every day and didn't think of measuring it. It was really strange. Nowadays, children can grow so fast, and it is very common for girls to be over 17 years old. My baby will definitely. After changing clothes, Shen Changmin came out and heard Jean Enyan's words and immediately replied, "Your baby can't grow taller. The genes are there." Ah. Of course, Shen Changmin didn't know how to tease his assistant sister. He turned to Kong Chiao and chatted up. How old are you this year? I am born in the 90s. I am proud of being born in the 90s. I am proud because I am young. Although Appa is born in the 80s, he is the tail end of the 80s. Unlike this Appa, he is in the middle of the 80s, and there is a generation gap with you. Zhang Yunhao didn't care when his younger brother complained about him like this. He curled his lips and counterattacked. Do people recognize you as an op? You can really succeed in buying and selling by force. The older one is Appa. Shen Changmin couldn't help but continue to talk. Who is your ideal type? Appa can help you get an autograph. You're welcome. Now that you said that, sister, I won't be polite. Leslie Chung. Zhang Yunhao gave this answer 120 likes. 20 more won't make her proud. Girl, please keep it up. Sister, this Appa can't help you anymore. How about a living person instead? That's gone. Her brother is her only love. Zhu 3. Zhu. As an assistant, you are not idle when an artist is working. You have to prepare all kinds of things, including food and drink, and you have to prepare everything properly. During this process, Kang Chiao learned from Jin Yunyan that Jung Yunhao likes to eat kimchi and barbecue, likes strawberries as fruit, and usually only drinks purified water. By the way, he also told her about the poisoning case N years ago so that she could prepare purified water. Changing clothes again, this time there were no accidents. Kang Chiao neatly arranged them for him and finally stretched out his hand to caress her from top to bottom out of habit. She usually dresses like this and feels it will be neater this way. After he was done, he was asked by Cody to take away the clothes for the next game, leaving Jung Yunhao alone in a daze while touching the breasts that had just been touched. It feels like that again. It feels like that again. It feels like that again. Question. The assistant blew on my chest first, then touched my brother, and now touches my breast. Does this constitute sexual harassment? Urgent. Waiting online. Who cares about you? You obviously enjoy this feeling. I wish this girl could touch you more. When Jung Yunhao suspected that she was being sexually harassed, she didn't know that Kang Chiao was also troubled. When she was arranging Jung Yunhao's clothes just now, she inevitably saw his two hands. Palmistry does not mean that men are left and women are right, but that the left hand is congenital and the right hand is acquired. A person's hands can show many things, such as the height, fatness, and thinness of the future spouse, how old he was when he first had sex, how many marriages he'll have, etc. Kang Chiao's ancestors were good at feng shui. Although she didn't inherit the ancestral business, she still knew something about it. Jung Yunhao's palmistry. Haha, I can only say that it is very clean so far. She couldn't see it anymore. His right hand was like a mosaic in her eyes. She couldn't see it. This was the first time she had encountered this situation. If her grandfather were here, he would definitely say that she was not good at studying. However, there is another possibility that this person's fate is closely related to me. She came to Korea not only for her mother, but also to listen to her grandfather and find someone who can change her luck. Maybe this is the person. If it can change your luck, it's normal that she can't see through it, but finding it so quickly is too unfulfilling. Grandpa also said that when the time comes, she will know what to do, but now she really doesn't know what to do next. Is she a yellow-flowered girl, giving men's medicine? Kang Chiao never expected that the person she was looking for would be ex-dysfunctional. So, she just cured his disorder? Then get rid of bad luck and reach the pinnacle of life? Speaking of bad luck, Kang Chiao felt helpless, thinking that in her 22 years of life, she had never done anything that was disappointing to the country, the party, the people, or society. But she never lived a normal day. She stepped into a ditch while walking, lost a chain while riding a bicycle, broke down all the time while riding a car, encountered storms while riding a boat, experienced turbulence while riding an airplane, and lost all the money in her pocket. Wait! Money in your pocket? Kang Chiao quickly touched his three-layered pocket, and sure enough, there was a big hole in it, and there wasn't even a steel ball left in the pocket. Did he promise that he would be lucky if he met this person? Grandpa, this is different from what was promised. Schlecht, tot, schlecht tilde tilde. Kang Chiao, what's wrong with you? Are you tired? It was impossible to ignore this resentful breath. I lost my money. The pocket money that her father gave her in the morning was gone. Oh, she was still planning to keep it to buy meat. Sister Park patted her hard and said, "Who hasn't lost money these days?" Then she pointed at Jung Yunhao, who was taking a pictorial. Yunhao loses money every day. He buys tens of millions of watches here and then loses them there. You see, he still lives happily until now. I wipe it. Hundreds of thousands of soft girl coins dropped without blinking an eye. This is really a rich person. She would kneel in the ancestral hall and cry when she lost 100 yuan, but her nobleman was also so unlucky. How could he save her? He is such a prodigal. Does his girlfriend know? Speaking of her girlfriend, Sister Park laughed, put her arm around her shoulders and brought the two closer and whispered, "Even though Yunhao has a face of abstinence and cheating, he is actually the most innocent. There was a girl I liked before debuting, but now I have been thinking about her, and I haven't found a girlfriend yet. Friends. Hey, I have some photos here. Take a look." Sister Park searched the internet and found a blurry photo pointing to the girl wrapped like a ball. That's it. I heard that she died of a serious illness. She was actually quite cute, wasn't she? No matter how blurry the photo is, it doesn't matter to Kong Chiao because she also has a copy of this photo. She was the ball-shaped girl. How could she not know that she was seriously ill and passed away? Who the hell cursed her like that? Chapter 4. First Encounter. The first snow in Korea comes very early. On such a cold day, there are no other idiots except lovers walking around on the street. Besides lovers, there is another kind of people who are working hard, that is snow plows. Early that morning, Jung Yun-hao went to the wealthy area as usual, knocking on doors and asking if the snow needed to be cleared. Hello, may I ask if you need? No, thank you. Although he was rejected, Jung Yun-hao did not feel defeated. If every household needed it, he would be exhausted. He rubbed his nose and turned around to head to the next house. However, after taking 2 steps, he felt someone was following him, so he stopped and stood there without moving. However, he didn't move, and there was no movement behind him. He took 2 tentative steps and then stopped. The person behind him also took 2 steps. Out of curiosity, Jung Yun-hao turned around and looked behind him. He saw a girl as big as his sister, with only one eye covered, looking directly at him. The place where she stood was exactly where he had left his footprints. Sister controls Jung Yun-hao, who has not seen his sister for a long time after coming to Seoul for a long time, misses her a little now. The girl in front of me has a pair of big and smart eyes, which makes her particularly cute, dark and bright. Now that her stalking behavior has been discovered, she can't help but look around with a guilty conscience. It's so cute. Little sister, why are you following me? I'm not following you. I just happen to be walking this way. Hee, it's really interesting. Being so arrogant made Jung Yun-hao want to tease her. He turned sideways and got out of the way. Then you go first. The girl was obviously unhappy and kept her head down. But just like that, Jung Yun-hao misunderstood. He knew why he had to follow him. The girl was so pretty. I was afraid that the snow would make my boots dirty and wet. It turned out that my sister Jung Jiji always did this too. Little sister, what's your name? Jung Yun-hao said while bending down to help her brush away the snow that fell on her scarf. My name is... Jung Yun-hao was waiting expectantly for her to say his name, but he heard a call coming from the distance. Xiaojiu. He saw the girl looking back reflexively, then waving her hand to indicate that she was here, saying something in a language he couldn't understand. Then a pair of middle-aged men and women holding umbrellas came not far away. The woman hugged the girl in panic and asked for help, while the man smiled lightly and held up a big umbrella to protect the woman and the girl within a safe range. What is strange about this family is that their father is a foreigner with blonde hair and blue eyes, and her mother is a Korean with black hair and black eyes. And this girl does not look like a mixed race at all. Jung Yun-hao was surprised for a while and didn't worry about it anymore. He thought maybe it was just like Chong Chong. Suddenly the girl pointed at herself and said something to the woman, and then the woman looked up at him, held her hand, and asked gently, "Young man, are you here to find a job?" "Hello, Annie, I'm not looking for a job. I can just sweep snow and spread salt." "That's great." The child's father was lazy today, and there was too much snow in front of the house to make it difficult to travel, so I asked my daughter to go out and find someone for help, and she actually found her. First business gets square-root. The family's yard is not big, and it took more than an hour to sweep it with breaks. By this time, the girl's snowman was also finished. The fat and white snowman stood there with a silly smile. Jung Yun-hao's mood improved a lot when he saw it. Jung Yun-hao thought the snowman was pretty good, but the girl thought it wasn't pretty enough. So she took off her hat and scarf to dress up the snowman while her mother wasn't paying attention. Her father, who noticed her move, winked at her and gave her a thumbs up. The girl who was praised immediately jumped home without knowing what she was doing. After receiving the reward, Jung Yun-hao was about to leave, but at this time the girl came out with a camera and asked him to help take a photo of the 3 of them with the snowman. Anyway, it was a simple matter, so Jung Yunhao did not refuse. However, after the photo was taken, the girl's father asked Jung Yunhao to take another photo as a souvenir. Before leaving, the girl took out a box of warm milk from her cotton-padded jacket pocket and handed it to him. "Oh, you won't feel cold after drinking it. Thank you for your hard work." The girl's behavior did not evade her parents. The girl's mother even kissed her cheek and praised her. Although her father did not speak, he could tell from his expression that he was happy. Jung Yunhao, who has lived uprightly for 16 years, is not pretentious. He accepted the milk given by the girl and thanked the family. He is really a good person. Later that winter, Jung Yunhao came several times. The days when he came were the happiest times for his father. His coming meant that he could be lazy, so he was paid very well every time. My father washed 2 copies of that commemorative photo and gave one to Jung Yunhao. After all, it used someone else's face.